Happy 30K to me and to us. Welcome, guys. Thank you all for being here. This is a bit of a last minute planned stream, and I thought I had to do something special. I know a lot of you guys were requesting a hot tub stream. I feel like that's more 100K. So I decided to do a hair reveal stream. I know a lot of people have been thinking I have reptilian skin under there. Or maybe some even conspiring that I'm actually bald. It's not true. You're just a bunch of tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. Not true at all. She has been carrying the channel lately. She has definitely been carrying the channel. And speaking of Suki, a lot of you guys were expressing your concerns to me. And I understand that she was getting fed Scooby snacks, which are obviously like not the healthiest dog snack. And, you know, since Suki has been making money hand over fist, I thought, all right, I'll get you the top shelf snacks. And this is single ingredient. This is literally freeze-dried duck liver. That's all it is. So it's just, there's no preservatives. There's no additives. It's literally just duck liver. And let's just, let's just take a look at her right now because she can hear that bag. And she hasn't had one yet. She hasn't had one yet. But what I did was, because they're quite big. So I've got the bag here, but I also broke a few of them up just so we can, you know, don't have to feed her a whole liver at a time. But I broke them up in the kitchen, came in here, and she knew she could smell something. And she was very, very interested. Like, I can tell by the way she was acting, she's going to froth these treats. But she hasn't had one yet. So, I mean, the cookie's thrown in $10. I have said yellow super chats and above qualify for a dog feeding. And it's 30K. Excuse me. So I think it would be rude not to kick the show off without giving her a treat. So this is going to be her first time trying the duck liver. And she is excited, to say the least. Suki, what's this? What's this? Yeah, on your bed. On your bed. Sit. We'll make her shake. She really doesn't spend too much time enjoying them. She generally just inhales and then stares awaiting the next one. But she's definitely earned that. She's been putting in the time, been putting in the hard work. She is officially the co-host. Some would argue she's a better host, but, you know, that's up for debate. Does your girlfriend believe in aliens like you do? Look, I don't know if I would call Suki my girlfriend. We do cuddle at night, yes, but it's not like that. She's just the co-host. And yes, she believes in aliens. She's far more interested in the postman, though. That's her favorite conspiracy. You guys know I obviously really like comedy. Right? That's why I like to talk a lot of shit and just am sarcastic, because it's fun. It's funny. And I like blending humor with these weird topics because I actually think it makes them more digestible. You know, it is pretty dark a lot of the time. It is weird, strange. It gets you questioning the world around you, gets you asking some pretty, you know, deep questions about yourself and life and the people around you, that if you don't laugh, you'll cry. I'll cry anyway. I don't know about you guys, but the laughter is like just masking the tears. No, it's because I really do think it makes this stuff more digestible, and it's just fun. Why wouldn't you want to have fun? I definitely still feel like a bit of a kid, and I do believe that growing up is a trap, 100%. I mean, we all have to do it in terms of age and time, but up here, yeah, you don't necessarily have to. As you can probably tell by part 1 of the Stephen Greer disclosure stream, which I got absolutely flamed for. Thanks to you guys, by the way. Okay, so that's No, I don't just blame you guys, but you know, kind of was your fault. You know, I'd been wanting to watch the Stephen Greer disclosure press conference from 2001 for a while because it's a iconic video in the world of disclosure, right? So, you know, I put it together, had my plans, we got started, and then everyone in the chat was just way too concerned about people who have really big ears or people who are smacking their lips when they talk. All of these things. And it was hilarious. I mean, I found it funny. So then it's like, as the host, what do you do as the host, right? Do I sit here and start going, stop being silly, stop laughing? Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. If everyone's laughing and having a good time in the chat, then fuck it. I guess it's one of those streams. You know what I mean? I have personally had a great time. I could sit here and chat shit and laugh with you guys all day. I really could. It's funny though as well, because I always notice that like the live chat love it. The live chat are just vibing and talking shit. But as soon as it goes up as just a video and then like people are watching after the fact and commenting, oh my God. Don't have too much fun, please. Darren from Bristol doesn't like fun. If I have 700 people watching me all laughing, talking about Air Force One and Pedro and his green turtle, I'm not going to start telling people off. Stop having fun. It is what it is. The energy you put out is the energy you get back. And I guess I just put out some weirdo, humorous energy. But I'm here for it. Tanya O'Connor, welcome, you little freak, Tanya. I can just tell you are a weirdo. I can just tell. Thank you and welcome. The Cookie with $5. Polarity is the only place on YouTube where you can talk about people's wigs and alien orbs. That's right. And that's what's special. That's what's special. We can go from being the immature 14-year-olds at the back of the class to diving deep into esoteric lore of Hermeticism and the occult. It's the Polarity. That's just what we do here. You've got to be versatile. You've got to be quick. You've got to be ready to jump between wild topics. Only Borbs? Yep. The Only Borbs will be released at 100K. You know, who knows where I'll be at 100K? I don't know if I'll be in this room. I'll tell you that much. Don't, Josh? No, don't worry, Heather. I'm not actually going to put an OnlyFans account into my YouTube community. I mean, unless it's paying good. I mean, $20, right? No OnlyFans, please, Josh. Relax, guys. Relax. I'm not actually going to do an OnlyFans. I think some of you guys are still just getting used to my sarcasm, and that's okay because it is very subtle and dry, and it takes time. That's okay. As you begin to understand it, you will feel that we are actually becoming closer. When I'm in America next year, I'm going to be uploading videos on my other channel, Josh Radamas, which is going to eventually be kind of like a lifestyle / travel channel. Still going to talk about weird shit, obviously. You know, we can't escape who we are. But it will be more like weirdo out in the wild type stuff. My plan for that account is actually to do that, to go and do like interesting stuff and just kind of vlog and travel. What I eventually want to do with Polarity is, you know, I want to go to Machu Picchu. I want to go to Göbekli Tepe. I want to go to Egypt, right? So those things will end up on here. But in between that stuff, I'll still be out and about, exploring, doing cool stuff. And that'll go on Josh Stradamus TV. So you can, if you go to my homepage, you can subscribe to both of those there. But that's going to be a lot of fun. That's a long-term vision, but we're going to get there. We will absolutely get there. If you take a trip to Canada, you best DM me. What part of Canada are you in, Rambro? Because I'm actually, so you guys know that I've said that I am like low-key nervous about going to the States. Like 5% that I'll get abducted, 1% that the CIA will arrest me, and the rest of it is that I'll maybe just get turned away at the border. And that's not just because of my YouTube channel. It's because of, at least here in Australia, the mainstream news stories are that like the US border have changed their code and they're just turning people away left, right, and center, right? So I was a little bit nervous. So what I'm actually doing is I'm flying into Canada and I'm going to cross the border by bus. And I'm going to come down through like Washington and what else you got up there? Not Seattle, that's the city. Oregon? Oregon. Look, I'm pretty good with my United States. Or yep, there we go. I had it. Yep. See, I'm not bad. Just don't criticize Israel on any of your platforms. You should be good to enter. Jay with $5. How many subs till you covertly go and crack open the egg that Jake Barber found? That's over 100K. Yeah. If you want me to go dabble in that world, like, you know, I don't even think I would ever have one of those people on my channel. Like, I'm not really interested in that personally. Like, yeah, I don't think I would ask Lou Elizondo or John Ramirez or Jim Semivan to come on my channel. Not because I don't like them. It's just like I just don't really trust them. And I'm not saying like everything they say is wrong or even that I disagree with what they're saying. But like they come from the CIA. So I just like don't want you on my channel. Like nothing personal, but I just don't know what you're saying. I don't know what part of what you're saying is bullshit because I'm positive some of it must be. So I don't know. I'd rather I would have someone like Diana Pasolka on, though. I would have other people around that space on, but I wouldn't have the CIA people on because they're a little bit spooky. What about Ross? Yeah, I'd have Ross on the channel for sure. I think that's probably a realistic possibility too. But he is a busy man as well. So, and you know, I've had Ashton Forbes on the channel. You guys know I'm pretty open to those videos being real. Ross isn't, and Ross doesn't like Ashton, so I don't know if like, you know, he would not want to be on my channel because of that. I would like to think he would be a bit more open-minded than that, and I think he is. But yeah, who knows? One day, perhaps, for sure. Like, there are people in this space that obviously have good intentions because you can feel it, right? I'm sure, you know, a lot of you guys are weirdos, so I know you've got we've all got a little bit of that extra something going on, a bit of that extra sense. A little bit of ESP in the chat, for sure, to varying degrees. But I think a lot of us weirdos can generally tell pretty quickly, even over the internet, even over text, okay? And I say that because I have a lot of new people entering my Discord every day. And you can usually tell pretty quickly, even through text, what kind of energy someone is bringing. And even more so when they're a content creator and they're making videos. You can tell pretty quickly who's in it for the right reasons. I think Kelly Chase is a great example of that. Kelly Chase, you know, I don't know her story in and out. I follow her on X and I really like a lot of the stuff she says. Like, she's just very down to earth, says it how it is, says a lot of the things that probably a lot of us are feeling. She was more on the other side of things at one point. At least she was in and around those circles. I don't know who exactly, but like Lou Elizondo's. And we're actually going to be talking about him in a moment too. And from what I understand, it began to, you know, things started to happen where she began to realize that like the things she wanted to talk about or the people she wanted to talk about, these people in these circles were kind of like, no, you can't really talk about that. Or like, we don't want you to talk about that. You know, there was a bit of like control going on. And then as she started to push back, it was like, well, you know, you're either in this circle or you're not. And she was kind of like, well, fuck that. Like, I don't want to be in this circle because I'm in it for, you know, actually discovering the truth and trying to figure out what's going on. So fair play to Kelly Chase. She's a real one for sure. Red and Tooper are real ones. I would love to have them on, but I don't think I could have them on without them putting their camera on. And that's like not some weird thing where I'm like, I want to look at you. It's not like that at all. I guess it's just like some kind of channel integrity thing that I have that like, if I'm going to let someone speak on these topics on my channel, it's kind of just like a rule where like you have to show your face, you know, and it's not like I ever set that as a rule one day. It's just like, I don't think I would feel comfortable with it personally. You don't know who you're talking to at the end of the day. I mean, Red Panda's been on Jesse Michaels before, way back in the day. So like, you know, I know he's a real person. But I still think, you know, it just makes for a better conversation too. Like if I bring them on the show and it's just me here and then audio of them while they're talking, I'm just going to be here like, what, you know, it's just weird. Heidi, Celebrating 6 months, you little freak. You know, once you hit the 6 months, there's just no more questions. Like, you're a freak. You're a freak. And I love it. You know, we jumped from 20 to 30K like in a couple of weeks, largely due to the Billy Corgan shapeshifter video, which I guess has gone viral, at least for me. That video's been demonetized. Yep. I was hesitant to upload that video for 2 reasons. One, because of NPC backlash, which I've actually had on X the last couple of days. I'll tell you about it. But also, yeah, that, like, getting strikes on my account, because, you know, at the end of the day, YouTube is a censored platform. This isn't X. You can't say and do certain things on here. And it's not just like lewd, like, stuff. It's like, can't say certain things. Can't talk about certain things. You guys, I'm sure pretty much most people in the chat have probably watched that video. I was very, like, careful with my words and reiterated a few times that, you know, when we were talking about Khazarians, we're not talking about Jewish people, right? We're not talking, like, lumping what I'm referring to as Khazarians, which what I'm talking about is these people who worship a god called Baal or Moloch, and they do ritualistic sacrifice and abuse of children, and this is, like, systemic and has been ongoing for a long, long time. Khazarians, like, may not even be the right word, but that's the word I'm using to refer to these sick fucks, really. And then I had 2 in a row, actually. I had 2 NPCs retweet me on X, going like, yep, more anti-Semitism in the UFO community. I was like, oh, wow, the bots are identifying themselves now. In the things they're retweeting, I was talking about Khazarians. I did not mention the word Jewish at all. Jew wasn't even in there. But they like retweet it going like, oh, yeah, more anti-Jewish, anti-Semitism. And I was like, I actually personally find it more anti-Semitic that you are grouping regular innocent Jewish people in with people who pretend to be Jewish and worship Baal and do satanic ritual abuse. Like, if I was Jewish, I would be going to that guy. Fuck you. Like, I'm not, don't put me in with them. Do you know what I'm saying? But the bots don't get that. They just see something that they can latch onto and become a white knight, and then just start trying to be a fucking hero on social media. 100% natural. They are duck. This is like freeze-dried duck, pieces of duck liver. 1 ingredient. No additives, no preservatives. So just calm down. Here you go, darling. Mr. T celebrating his 3 months as a weirdo. Happy birthday, young man. Content and weirdo are on point. Thank you very much, sir. Just in case anyone doesn't understand that, it's not actually my birthday. It's just my 30,000th. It's the channel's 30,000th birthday. Does anyone else struggle to say that? Thousandths. I feel like you say 1,000 and then you're just going... It's just a conglomeration of th and s, and it all just gets lost, at least in my mouth. Spraying the microphone, yeah. Just like the people on X. Just like the virtue signalers on X, when they detect anyone even just talking about Jews, the robot eyes start flashing red. Script engage. Anti-Semite. I cannot think for myself. Absolute retards. Random dude with €5. Stay as you are. It's important for people like us to have a space like this where we can laugh and learn. I appreciate that, random dude. And I definitely intend to. Yeah, a lot of people pushed back on the last stream flaming me for being immature. And, you know, I can't even argue with that because I am immature. But the thing is, though, is like, I can also be very serious. And I think anyone who is always very serious is boring. I don't like to watch people's channels who are always serious. Am I a Capricorn? Yes, James Anthony, I am. How could you tell? Is it my incessant impatience for anyone who's not keeping up with my delivery? Because you would be correct. Sorry, I just want to get back to what Vern Dude said. Appreciate you being your genuine self. Screw him. Yeah, I won't lie. Obviously, when you are a creator online, especially someone in my style, where I basically stamp my face and my signature on everything that I do. Because some people don't, right? There are a lot of faceless accounts. There are people who I guess just don't show their face as much or don't live stream. I think when you live stream, like, you guys are just getting like the rawest and realest version of me, which isn't perfect, right? Because no one's perfect. And I'm having fun, right? Like, especially when we're laughing about people's rugs and their Werthers and their ears, you know, that shit is funny. I do find that very, very funny. And I will say, and we can maybe get into this if you guys want to, the last couple of days, honestly, haven't been feeling very good mentally, which isn't normal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm an up and down person. I've always been like low-key unstable. But like the last couple of days have actually been kind of rough. I can't really pinpoint why, just one of those things. So I feel like when you're feeling like that, the thick skin that I believe that I do have, is thinner. It's thinner. So then when I'm on stream, having a really good time, laughing with you guys, and then to have like people flaming me for like having fun and like when you're not feeling good and then you do something which makes you feel so much better, like, oh, I'm on stream, I'm having a laugh, hanging out with you guys, and then people attack you for it. I won't lie, it did kind of get to me this last couple of days. That's not why I don't think that's why I was feeling down. It probably did contribute to it, to be fair. But I mean, it's just part of the business, right? That's just, you have to have a thick skin. And I think I generally do. But I'm also human. So, you know, you have days where you don't feel good. You have days where you feel better. It just is what it is. And I think as well, like, you guys probably see that in my streams, right? You know, some days I might be like super high energy and other days I might be a bit more chill. It's just the nature of live streaming. You just get like the most raw, authentic version of me. And that's why I like doing it. That's why early days of Polarity, I started filming all of my videos in one go because I knew I wanted to end up here one day. And that was my practice, to just send it, and that really came from just hating editing. I actually don't mind it as much now. I started doing that because I was like, I fucking hate editing. It would take me like a whole day to edit like a Weird Week back in the day. And that's when I had a girlfriend too. So I felt like I was just really stretched between everything. And I was just like, how can I do this and not have to edit? It's like, all right, you just got to nail it all in one go. So off I went. And it all worked out. It all worked out well in the end. Nerd alert! Well done on 30K, bro. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. And you've been in here a lot recently. Lots of support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Monkey Sausage gifted 5 memberships as well. Monkey, a lot of regulars in here showing some love tonight. I really appreciate that. Thank you, and make sure you say thank you to Monkey if you were one of the lucky ones. Remember, you can only receive a membership if you actually enable it. So go to the 3 dots, make sure you're eligible to receive memberships, and let's get some love hearts in the chat just to spread some love around, because not just for our new people, but also that's why this community is goated, because everyone is just a vibe. There's no dickheads. There's no heroes. My mods, who at times have been accused of being a little bit Nazi-ish, and they're just doing their job. They're doing their job. They're also not perfect, but they have the right intentions. So, sometimes people get things wrong, but they're here helping me out, doing it off. I don't pay them. They're just doing it for the love of the game. So shout out to the mods. The whole vibe of the live chat and the Discord is really important to me. It is really important to me. Like, if someone comes in Discord and is ruining the vibe, I have no qualms just booting you out quickly. And by the way, that doesn't happen often, but it does happen. It has happened, because like the energy and the vibe of the Discord is like a sacred thing that must be maintained. So if someone's going to disturb it, you're going to get the boot. AGC with $2, sending good vibes, brother. Have you tried DMT? Wow, that was a sentence with 2 halves. Hope you're good, bro. Ever done DMT? I like it. I like it. No, I haven't. Dan Garden with $10. This donation isn't from me. My dog is obsessed with Suki and demanded I donate for a treat. See Discord videos. Well, I can't look right now, Dan, but I definitely will. And thank you to you and your dog. And, for that, if your dog is around, let him know because we're about to go full screen. And the girl is here waiting. And, I mean, you just can't say no to that face. I really do need to stop this sarcasm, though. I mean, I won't. I won't because I can't, because it's literally just who I am. But, like, the other day, do you guys remember the other day when someone said, hey, Josh, you should check out Diana Pasulka? And, like, just off the cuff, I was like, oh, I never heard of her. Because obviously I've covered her about 100 times on the channel, right? I got so many messages from people after that going, bro, I can't believe you haven't heard of Diana Pasulka. You have to check her out. And like, I love that people want me to like see this stuff. I'm not going to reply to everyone and be like, I'm sorry, I was joking, but it just makes me think like, fuck, I probably shouldn't do that. You know, time and place. Sarcasm's good, but maybe time. That was probably a bit, maybe even a bit rude. That was maybe a bit rude of me, to be honest, to just kind of brush that person off. I probably should have been a bit more kinder. UAP Gerb does some awesome work. Yeah, he does. Speaking of UAP Gerb, he got... I just read your super chat as my thoughts, Toxic Fart. Get out of my head, sir. Get your toxic farts out of my head. And yes, I do have hair. I thought for 30K, why don't we do a hair reveal stream? People were asking for the hot tub stream, but I think that's 100K for sure. We can hot tub at 100K. I'll get the rubber duck out, the rubber ducky. I'll get the floaties. Suki doesn't like water, so she probably won't come in, but yeah, it'll be a good one. Yes, UAP Gerb on Danny Jones was a fantastic podcast. I don't have any clips to show you, unfortunately, but I did watch it last night when I was meant to be asleep and I wasn't, and that's why I woke up at 11 a.m. and felt like a piece of shit this morning. But yep, that's what happened. Thank you, Ryan, for subscribing to Polarity 2.0. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think, you know, when you're in this space, it is good to diversify as well, because you never know when the CIA will just guillotine your channel. Hot tub stream with Coulthard. Now, that could be something. It might take him back to his Esalen days when everyone was naked summoning orbs in the hot tub. I mean, we'll have clothes on. But maybe some orbs will come too.